Welcome, everyone. I'm going to turn the floor over to Helen and Rebecca.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Rachel, for inviting us here today to represent Advanced Opportunities and to talk about the program. I'm Helen Savage, and I live up in Idaho, and we'll be sharing some information.
And I'm Rebecca Matucci, and I am in Boise, Idaho, and we are both regional contractors for the Advanced Opportunities program. So we help manage everything and answer questions and such. So we're happy to be here. All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen. All right.
Great. So many of you have probably heard about Advanced Opportunities, and this webinar will look exactly what the program involves, what the opportunities exist to the students, and how to navigate the program. So as we go, we ask that you go ahead and submit your questions, and we'll do our best to address them either throughout the presentation or we'll save them to the end, but we'll make sure that we do our best to answer all of your questions. And anything that you find here on this presentation, you will also find on our Advanced Opportunities website. And as you may have just seen, Rachel is recording this, so that'll be good as well. So as far as things that we'll cover, we'll do the whys and the whats of the program, why you would want to pursue the Advanced Opportunities funding, types of allowable expenses, how to access the funding, and then at the end will be our contact information. So if we're ready to go, we'll just dive right into it here. Advanced Opportunities is a program created through the Idaho State Legislature, which is connected to the larger goal set by the Idaho State Board of Education in helping students reach goals and aspirations beyond high school. And this is done by instituting a career pathway plan at the student's high school and removing cost barriers with the use of Advanced Opportunities funding. So forming relationships with providers at the colleges and universities and connecting students to experiences they will have after high school is the goal. Students are also provided opportunities for high school and dual credit coursework through Idaho's e-learning provider, Idaho Digital Learning Alliance, or IDLA. And we'll discuss more about that later. The ultimate goal here of Idaho's Advanced Opportunities is to have a well-educated and skilled workforce. So what exactly are these Advanced Opportunities? Advanced Opportunities is both a school requirement to provide challenging coursework and a funding mechanism. And while there are several types of Advanced Opportunities, state law requires Idaho Public Schools to provide students at least one of the opportunities listed here. So the dual credit, advanced placement, career and technical education, or CTE, international baccalaureate, and workforce training. Many schools will offer more than just one, and the type and number of opportunities will vary by your school district. The Advanced Opportunities program is available to students who attend an Idaho public school or an accredited Idaho private school. And the public and non-public school programs have different rules and allowances. And we'll explain briefly these on the next slides. School attendance requirements will also vary and are determined by the Idaho school in order to participate in the Advanced Opportunities program. And it should be noted that a student cannot participate in both programs at the same time. And so it's generally one or the other, depending on the student's school enrollment. The attendance requirements means that any homeschool student would need to attend one of these schools to access the funding. So as it says up there, they must be an Idaho resident And the school attendance policy is set by the individual school, and we follow that. So the program offers $4,625 for each student who attends the Idaho public school. And this is an additional $500 of what it was last year. So this has been an increase. Students have access to the funding starting in grade 7 through their senior year in high school. And the $4,625 can be used for the purposes on this slide: for overload courses, dual credit, exams, workforce training, and career and technical education. So on the non-public school allowable expenses, that's $2,500, and they must be attending an Idaho accredited non-public school, and students have access to this funding starting again in grade 7 through their senior year, and it can be used for the purposes listed on this slide. College courses taken for dual credit, exams, and career and technical education exams, exams that go to college credit or certifications. And also now, beginning in July, your entrance exams, ACT, SAT. So the AO program is a reimbursement model in which the expenses are either paid on behalf of the student or a repayment of costs incurred by the student. And so we'll talk about each of these opportunities more in detail. Did I miss anything there, Rebecca?
I don't think so. I was just going to add that I tried to update that slide that because now proctoring fees are included and the college entrance exam. So this starting this new school year, July 1st, that little asterisk at the bottom is no longer accurate. So we'll get that removed from the next one. But yes, proctoring fees are now included as
There
well
we
as
go.
entrance exams that Helen mentioned. So
Great. Good for you guys. So you get a little bit more there if you're in the non-public.
definitely.
Okay, so the first opportunity, overload courses that most public schools take advantage of and participate in. They are high school level courses that are outside of the regular school day, in excess of your students' full course load as defined by the school district. So for example, if a full credit load in the semester or trimester at your school is 7 courses or credits, a student could take the 8th credit in that semester, and if the course had a cost associated with it, advanced opportunity funds could cover those costs. So advanced opportunities can pay up to $225 per overload course. And some reasons why a student may want to take the overload course would be if they have the intention to graduate early, or possibly they want to free up their future schedule in order to take more dual credit courses or electives in high school. The overload courses may be taken before school, after school, during the summer, or as well as online. And to be eligible for the AO funding, these courses must be for high school credit, and they must be taught by an Idaho certified high school instructor, and they must be provided by an accredited school. And because of these requirements, many students take their overload credits through IDLA or from the school district. And since these courses must be for high school credit, middle school students would be required to have any of those courses transcribed for high school credit if they start in that earlier year than 9th grade. So there are other providers that offer high school curriculum courses, but these may be ineligible for reimbursement based on the state requirements. So if your student is considering taking high school level courses through other providers, please confer with your high school, your student school, and confirm that they meet the advanced opportunity eligibility requirements. Next, we have our dual credit. And this is the most popular for sure use of the Advanced Opportunities Program right now. And both public and non-public students can access this funding for these courses. And dual credit courses are college level courses that earn both the high school and the college credit simultaneously. And this means the credit is transcribed on both the high school transcript and the college transcript. Many of these courses will fulfill both high school and graduation requirements and program requirements for future college or university degrees. So as a part of Advanced Opportunities Program, Idaho colleges have agreed that the cost of dual credit course will be $75 per credit, meaning students benefit from a tremendous discount compared to traditional cost at the college level. So in addition, the Advanced Opportunities Program will pay $75 per college credit from the students, $4,625 if they're public, and out of the $2,500 if they're non-public. So with the example on the screen, students could take the English as a dual credit course and receive credit for senior English towards their high school diploma, as well as English 101 towards their college degree. And for the cost saving aspect, students will be charged just $75 per credit, and 3 credits for a total of $225. And then can have the Advanced Opportunities Funding pay the $225, meaning zero out of pocket for you. If a student would wait to take that same course in college, they would pay substantially more. For instance, currently at ISU, each credit costs over $400. And so you would be paying over $1,200 for this same course here that you would get for $225. Since this is a reimbursement program, Idaho colleges have agreed to not charge students directly for courses using the funds. And this means if a funding request is submitted and the student is eligible, the course fees would be paid directly to the Idaho college on behalf of the student. And if you do receive a bill from the college, it's likely due to the fact that the college does not see an advanced opportunity funding request along with the registration for the course. And so you would want to address that as soon as possible. And you do that by contacting, again, your high school counselor who can help you get back on track with getting that funding request in. Okay. So there's a few things for students to consider when registering for dual credit courses. First, more college credit does not necessarily mean better. A student taking dual credit courses will want to consider the purpose of the course they are registering for and how the course will relate to a future degree program. The student's career pathway plan that should be in place with your high school. They set up with their school advisors, and possibly a college advisor will be your guide. And that might change throughout their high school years. Listed on the screen are the categories for the general education matriculation courses, or the GEM courses as we call them, and they've been referred to as core classes. Courses in these categories fulfill general education requirements at all Idaho public colleges. Looking for courses that fit into these categories will help students find options that are easily transferable and more likely to apply to a wide variety of degree plans. For example, taking a dual credit English 101 through CWI would fulfill a written communication core requirement at NIC. Or the student taking Communication 204 Public Speaking at LCSC would likely fulfill oral communication requirements at ISU. So for this reason and others, students are generally advised to consider these GEM courses as they're more universally accepted and applied to most degree plans. And to find out which courses are best and available, again, talk with a college advisor, or you can refer here to this course transfer.idaho.gov. It's listed there on the screen. Or again, see your high school counselor, who are very well versed in all of these. And the website can assist in seeing how credits actually will transfer to different schools within the state. So that's really helpful. And something else to consider with dual credit courses is the mode of instruction. While there's no limitation from us to the mode, a student takes a dual credit course, including at the high school or online or at the college campus, students will want to consider additional costs. For example, courses taken directly through a college campus may be more than $75 per credit, and the student would be responsible for the difference in that tuition cost. They'd be responsible, of course, for their own transportation to and from class and any other required course materials. So generally speaking, the least expensive option for college courses is when they are provided at the high school. Dual credit options are also not limited just to Idaho colleges. A student could take a course from an out-of-state college instead. And colleges outside of Idaho typically charge a much higher rate for college credit, as well as possible non-resident fees. And in many cases, students would be required to pay for these courses up front and could be reimbursed the $75 per credit later through advanced opportunities through the school's district. And the college must be regionally accredited, and the course must be 100 level or higher, so no remedial courses. And so there's a lot in here. You would want to definitely make sure that your course for an out-of-state qualifies. So again, your high school counselor or contact us here at the state so we can help make sure that you're going to get reimbursed. Lastly, in regards to dual credit as part of advanced opportunities, the dual credit process advising is a requirement. And once a student earns 15 college credits, which is awesome, must be advised past that before additional funding could be utilized. So it's highly recommended that students check in with both the college and the advanced opportunities staff to discuss plans and to make sure it is in the student's best interest. There is a list of dual credit advisors on our website, and you can visit the college website itself to learn more. So please remember, dual credit courses are taught at the college level and will follow the college process. So it's important to know their timelines and be prepared for an elevated time commitment. On the Advanced Opportunities website, you can find, again, a list of these dual credit providers should you need to seek guidance to understand your dual credit objective. And we'll go over more of that towards the end of this slideshow. So let's talk a little bit about the exams. And Advanced Opportunities funding will pay the full cost of approved exams for both public and non-public school students. And these include exams that lead to college credit, like advanced placement exams, college level exam program called CLEP, and international baccalaureate exams. If an exam has a proctoring fee, this can be covered for public and now non-public students. As far as AP exams, students would be required to score a predetermined minimum in order to receive college credit. So, for example, on a scale of 1 to 5 for advanced placement, students generally need to score a 3 or higher to receive the college credit. CLEP exams can be great for students who demonstrate knowledge in a particular subject, and the CLEP exam can be taken to potentially earn college credit, and each individual college has policies and score minimums in place to show how AP and CLEP exams can warrant credit. Additionally, Idaho provides each student a free SAT attempt for college placement purposes. But should a student want to improve placement for college courses, the student may want to use their AO funding for the ACT. And you will want to talk again with your school counselor about what's available to your student. Please keep in mind, depending on the school and the exam, the student may need to pay for the cost of the exam, and then it would be reimbursed through the school district. And then the school district would then reimburse. We have a couple questions we want to address before we go on. Or did we just put links down there?
I just posted links. Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, that's great.
Directing people to the Q&A if they have questions.
Perfect. Great. Okay. And this is where I'll pass it off to Rebecca.
All right. And I see that Rachel provided the link to our website as well, and we'll go over that here in a few minutes and kind of walk you through the different sections of the website as well. So we'll continue on about examinations. So Advanced Opportunities also offers a wide variety of licenses and certifications through the program for both public and non-public school students. We have a list of these approved CTE certifications and exams on our website. So this includes things like welding, healthcare, information technology, these ones listed here on the website, plus others as well. So you'll want to talk to your Advanced Opportunities staff at your school about what opportunities are available to you or to your student. All right. Workforce training courses are yet another option within the Advanced Opportunities program, and this is for public school students. These are courses that are generally hands-on, they're based on workforce needs, and they are regionally in-demand courses provided at Idaho technical colleges. These are not for college credit, and they may require a connection with an employer. And while there are degree paths for career and technical education courses, these workforce training courses are really likely to be the most direct route to a specific career for your student, which generally include technical skill paths like electricians, plumbers, HVAC, etc. And the program can pay the full tuition for the course. And we have a list of the approved courses and the regionally in-demand occupations on our website, and we'll show you both of those here shortly. So some things to consider with the workforce training courses. So the workforce training courses work on varying timelines, so they might not align with the traditional semester or trimester at your student's school. And you want to consult with the college that these are through about the enrollment time period. Some of the programs will have a cost to your students for supplies or books that's beyond the actual cost for the course that's covered by Advanced Opportunities. So there might be some out-of-pocket costs there, and those you want to make sure that you understand before registering. And these courses are not for college credit again, and they are adult-oriented. So if your student is looking for a more traditional college experience, they might want to consider the career and technical degree program instead of the workforce training program. So one other item in the Advanced Opportunities program is the Early Graduation Scholarship. This is the final option that we offer through Advanced Opportunities. This scholarship is available for public school students only. Some students prefer to graduate early from high school, and they could be eligible for a scholarship of approximately $2,400 per year if they graduate at least one full year early. The student has up to 2 years after graduation to apply for this scholarship, and students apply for this through their Advanced Opportunities portal. The scholarship can be used at any Idaho public college or university for both academic or technical training. And please note that high school courses taken in the next school year are considered part of that next year and do not fulfill the at least 1 year early requirement. So if your student would have to graduate at the end of the academic year, like generally in May or June, summer courses would be considered start of the next school year. So if your student needs to take something over the summer after the end of their junior year, that would not be considered one full year early, so they would not qualify for the scholarship. Okay, so let's see. One thing or one last slide here. So why do you think, or why would your student want to pursue Advanced Opportunities? So Advanced Opportunities is designed in such a way to empower students to make career and college choices while still attending public high school or non-public high school. The program is designed to help a student save thousands of dollars on their future, provides a jump start to college or career, and also the opportunity to explore college or career options at lower costs, both financially and in terms of time in their life. So in addition, the program provides opportunity for faster degree completion and challenging content should a student want that. So that concludes kind of the what and why about advanced opportunities. And we're going to transition into the how to access the funds at this point. So I just want to pause real quick to see if there's any questions that anyone might have that we can address about the program itself. And then we'll move forward and talk about how to get it. I don't see any questions in there yet. Okay. Again, just pop anything in the Q&A if you have questions, and we'll address those as we go. All right. So how to access advanced opportunities. So there are lots of choices as we've kind of gone over here. So the next step that you would want to do with your student is all these choices need to be aligned with the student's career pathway plan. These are generally set up in 8th grade with their school, and they're reviewed annually. So you want to make sure your student is meeting with their advisor, creating their learning plan with them, their career pathway plan, and reviewing that with the school. And then because the school districts can vary as to what programs they offer, you'd want to talk to the school to see what options are available at your school district. And then you can move forward and with them. All right.
Rebecca?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a question on the Q&A. So they're interested if we have to have a social security number. Does the student have to have a social security number?
Oh, okay. So generally with the Advanced Opportunities Program, it actually uses their state education ID. So it's their EDU ID that each student, when they register for school, generally when they register for public school, they automatically get one. If they're in a non-public school, then their school district would assign them an EDU ID with the state of Idaho, and then they would go off of that. So everything is based on basically their name, date of birth, and their school's EDU ID. Now, I'm not sure if the school district themselves require social security numbers, but for the Advanced Opportunities Program, we don't use social security numbers. Thanks. I had the chat open, not the Q&A.
That's all right. I'll catch it.
Awesome. All right. So let's see, going on to the next slide here. So once the plan has been discussed with the school, the student will want to create an Advanced Opportunities account. And so you'll go to the Idaho Department of Education website for Advanced Opportunities to do this part. And once they create and verify their account through their email, a notification will be sent to the school for approval. And then once the account is approved by the school, the student has full access to their account to be able to request funding, or if they're doing their early graduation scholarship, request that, or also see what other funding has been requested on their behalf. Some school districts actually submit the funding requests for students on the student's behalf, and other school districts have the students submit their own requests. So that's another thing that you just need to verify with the school to ensure you're making sure the funding request is getting submitted for your student if they are using the program. Okay. So once the Advanced Opportunities account is set up, a participation form must be submitted to the school. So this form it basically outlines the rules of the program and the responsibilities of the student. It has to be signed by the student and a parent or guardian. It's required to be on file at their school before funding can be utilized. And one thing in here that we have highlighted there on the screen. So this is one rule of the program. So if a student receives funding for a course or an exam and are then unsuccessful in that course, a flag would be placed on their account with the state of Idaho, which could prevent future funding. And so in order to regain eligibility, they would need to meet the program rules by paying for and earning credit for a future dual credit course or overload course, workforce training, another part of the program. So they would need to pay for something out of pocket and earn credit for that, or take the exam in order to then have their eligibility reinstated. Okay. All right. So within their account on the Advanced Opportunities Program, this is how they would go in to submit a funding request. So these are required for the non-public students, they are required to submit their own funding requests. The school cannot do that for them. And this is what I said, it could vary for public school students. So some public schools will have the students submit their own requests and some will do them on behalf of the student. So public school students will want to confirm with their school regarding who should submit the funding request. For students entering the request, they log into their Advanced Opportunities account, select the link at the top to request funding, and then they can select either for a course or an exam. And then they just enter the necessary information. So that's all the little drop-down menus there, and select their appropriate district and school, etc. And then submit the course. If they can't find the name of the course within here, then they'd want to contact the staff at their school to get assistance. Generally, the course just needs to be added, and then it would be there for the student to be able to request. So Diane asked a question, can you request reimbursement if you have already paid for an eligible course or exam? Here on the next slide, we will go over the deadlines. So there are deadlines. The requests for exams and courses need to be submitted early in the semester that they're being taken. And so if you miss that deadline, generally you're not able to get the funding for that. So you want to make sure that your students are following the deadlines. So let me bring up that list here. And we need to update this for this next school year. But so for when students are required to enter their own requests, they want to ensure to meet these request deadlines. So it's this the first column here, the request funding window. So this is when students can submit those funding requests, and they want to make sure that they get them in that time frame. So right now, so this is not updated, but this is past basically. So for this current spring semester that we're in, spring 2025, the funding window for students went through March 7th. And then basically from March 7th until about May 9th, the schools and the course providers, like the colleges and universities, are confirming the information. They're making sure that they have funding requests for the students who are enrolled, or if a student has a funding request and they're not enrolled, they work that out and try to figure out and just try to match everything up basically in that time frame window. And then at the end of that window, we have our submission deadlines, and this is when the school districts need to submit all their requests for payment to the State Department of Ed. So they submit all of their bulk requests for funding to our department, and then we will review those to get them approved and funding released. So we want to make sure that those deadlines are met. So right now we have our window is open for summer requests, and that will go through part of June through the middle to end of June. And then we also have our request window open for fall semester right now, fall and trimester 1 for the upcoming semester. So for dual credit courses, in addition to having the funding request submitted, students will also need to enroll in that chosen course with the course provider. So just submitting a funding request with the State Department of Ed does not automatically enroll the student in a course, and vice versa. They have to take both of those steps to make sure that they submit the funding request and enroll in that dual credit course. And then if the student, or if the student's taking an AP exam, they want to make sure they're signed up to take the AP exam and that the funding request is submitted for that exam as well. Students who take dual credit courses through IDLA, because there are some offered through IDLA as well, which is our online course provider. They also would need to register with IDLA. So they register with IDLA, the college, and submit that funding request. So sometimes there are a lot of steps. The instructors for these courses are generally very good at helping your students through those processes, but just definitely want to make sure that all those steps are completed. Okay. So just kind of some final important details to go over. Some that we've kind of already covered all of this, but we want to make sure that students are choosing their courses wisely, looking at quality of courses over the quantity. We really want students to try to follow that GEM core or the core course lists to make sure that they're taking courses that are going to be generally applied to most degrees and easily transferred across institutions. Some of the more specialized courses might not count toward degree programs from one college to another. So just keep an eye on that, and talk with the school district or talk with the college that your student is considering going to ensure a course may be covered. Again, there could be additional costs if your student is taking something directly through a college or university, or there could be those additional workforce training course costs. So look at that. Repeated or remedial coursework is not covered by dual credit. And then the grade of an F or a W, which is a withdrawal, will cause a hold on future funding. So that's if the student takes a course and then they are unsuccessful in that course, we talked about a flag would go on that account. And so in order to regain eligibility, they would need to pay for a similar or a course or exam and be successful in that. And then while it's rare if a student does receive multiple F or W grades in dual credit courses, that could impact future federal financial aid eligibility at the college or university. It looks like we have a question here. Does it pay for driver's ed? Yes, generally speaking, driver's ed can be covered by this. It just has to be basically it falls under the overload course category. So it's in addition to their regular school day, their full-time course load at the school, and it has to be a regionally accredited instructor. So generally, if this is through the student's school, then a lot of times it would be covered. It doesn't cover like private providers of driver's ed. Okay, so I have that's the end of our presentation with the information. I am going to pop in here and I'll bring up our website and we can go over that together, and I'll just kind of point out where you can find some of the things that we discussed today, where your student can go to register for the Advanced Opportunities Program. So if you just go to the regular, actually, let me start from the beginning. So if you just go here to ste.idaho.gov, this is just the Idaho Department of Education website. You scroll down, we have all these panels here at the bottom, and the Advanced Opportunities is this purple one here. You can click on that and that will take you directly to our program site. We have a link for public school students and one for non-public school students. This just kind of separates out the information because the programs do offer those different the different access. So here you'll see the layout of both of the websites is fairly similar, or of both the public and non-public. You'll have just kind of some basic information about getting started, what kind of the steps to take that we discussed. It talks about an overview of the different programs that are within Advanced Opportunities. And then administrative, that's more for the administrative users. So, but your student can go to the student application portal here to complete their application or to log in if they have an account already. So to create an account, they would click on the create an account link and enter their information. This is that EDU ID number or the state ID. So if the student knows that, they can enter it. If they don't know it, that's okay. And for the non-public school students, if they don't have their EDU ID or if they don't have one, the school will get that for them. So you can leave that open, but fill in the information, read the little statement here, and then submit here. Once they do this piece and then click enroll new student, they will then receive an email in their email account that they used here. And they will need to go in and verify that account information. So they'll just click in the email and it will say to verify their account. Once they do that step, it will then be sent to their school for review and for the school to confirm that, yes, this is a student here. And then once that piece is done, they'll have access to their funding or to submit funding requests. Okay. So some more information here. We talked a little bit about the approved exams, the approved workforce training courses. So you can click on these and it is an Excel spreadsheet that will download. And you can see the list of all the courses that are available through and the different types of programs. So there's CTE. It's not very big. That a little bigger, but this just lists all the programs. So if you're looking for something in particular for your student is, they can log in here or they can check this out. So they can do a phlebotomy technician. There's CNA courses. There's all sorts of different ones in here. So those are the exams. And now I need to get back. There we go. And there's the same one for the workforce training. So again, the workforce training courses, these are regionally in-demand programs. And so this can change from year to year, but this has those as well. And so you can see where they're offered. So they're offered at different institutions throughout the state of Idaho, College of Eastern Idaho, Southern Idaho, College of Western Idaho, and Idaho State University. So we've got a lot of options there. It shows the cost of the program, and that full cost is covered by advanced opportunities. All right. On the right-hand side, we have some links to some information. So we have our general information email address. We have my contact information and Helen's contact information, and that's our direct emails and our phone numbers if you need to contact us with any questions. You can sign up for our newsletter if you would like, or text alerts. If you have questions for dual credit coordinators, we have the list of those providers here, along with the early graduation scholarship contacts at each of our course providers. So this will include, Boise State, ISU, College of Western Idaho. All of those contacts are listed here. And then we do have some links to the partnerships throughout the state. So we've got Next Steps Idaho is a great resource. They kind of you can break it down by each year that your student is in. So whether they're in 8th grade or 10th grade, kind of what they should be thinking about, what they should be doing. So this is a great website to review. A link to the CTE. So if your student is interested in any CTE courses, that career and technical education, you can check that out. And then our Idaho Digital Learning as well, and the Workforce Development Council. Helen, what else did I miss?
You've done great. Yeah.
I was going to say I can go to the
covered just a lot of it there. A lot of information on there.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to say the non-public school just has a little bit less information, but because there aren't as many programs, so the overview is a little bit lower or a little bit less information and how to participate. But the student application portal is there. All of that same contact information, dual credit coordinators, and approved exams and costs there as well. So it has all that information.
And we have a question. Does a child qualify if they live in Idaho but attend an online out-of-state high school?
If it's an online out-of-state high school, they would not be eligible, right? Wait, I'm trying to think of and I guess it would be if this would be for, well, that would sound like it would be for overload courses, not dual credit courses, because the online or the overload courses have to be with an Idaho accredited teacher.
Right. In a accredited school. Idaho accredited school.
So that would likely not be eligible, but if you wanted to, send us the information, we could just confirm that, what school it is. But yeah, generally it has to be an Idaho accredited institution for the overload courses and an Idaho accredited teacher.
You're welcome. Ed.
All right. Well, that's the end of our program and the information that we wanted to share with you today. We're happy to stick around, answer any additional questions. You can definitely always reach out to us. Here's our contact information again. Send an email or give us a phone call if you have any specific questions for your student. Yeah, we're happy to help. We're here.
Yeah. So how does funding affect if a student changes from public to non-public or vice versa? Whatever they've used out of their account, that will follow them. So the state is able to track that. And so it'll follow. So if they've used $225 for a course out of their public and they move to a non-public, then it will show up that they've already used 225 in the non-public.
So basically, yeah, the overall limit, because the limit for the non-public students is lower than the limit for the public students. The non-public students just have that $2,500 to use. So they would just be held by that $2,500 limit of their funding. And then they would be eligible for just the programs that are in that non-public school program. Hopefully that makes sense.
Good questions.
Yeah. All right.
Great.
Thank you for
Well, thanks
joining
for
us
coming
today.
out. Yeah.